How did I come up with the idea? I went to lunch with a homicide detective, and I was discussing with him what I wanted my next book to be. And he said to me, you know what you should write about? You should write about a woman in a crab pot. And it totally grossed me out. I couldn't finish my lunch. And I said to him, you didn't have one of those cases, did you? And he said, yes. He said that he had a case in which a boyfriend had killed the girlfriend and put her body in a crab pot and submerged the crab pot into salt water, and they never would have found her. But the boyfriend broke down under questioning and told them where the body was. And he said the really difficult part was then they had to send divers to find it, and it was not pretty. And that was it. I thought, wow, that is an amazing opening of a book, and you could do a lot. You could do a lot with that. Just who the person is, what happened to her, why she's there, who would be so horrible as to do something like that, and the story just sort of took off. Tracy Crosswhite was actually a character in a book I wrote many years ago, and when I was looking to create a new storyline, I wasn't looking at ideas, I was looking at characters, because what I like to write is I like to write characters. I like to write characters that people identify with. So there were two homicide detectives in this old book, and one of them was Tracy Crosswhite, and the other was a male character, which is her partner. And I originally thought, well, I'll write the character about the male character. Kensington Rowe is his name. And I talked to my agent, and my agent said, well, what about the woman? I'm a man. And so I said, well, why are you interested in her? And she said, well, she was a chemistry teacher. Why is she now a homicide detective? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, find out. So I started to kind of explore this character that I had created that I didn't really even know myself why I had created this character. And I have 4 sisters. And so I started thinking about when my sisters were younger and how they used to fight and all the things they used to do that were really quirky. And I just thought I could create a character that people would believe in. And I wanted her to be a character that was damaged, that had a lot of guilt because of something that happened in her past involving her sister. And the more I thought about it, the more she just came alive for me and became a real person. My next book, after I say it correctly, Piège, is a book called Close to Home. And it's a book in which Tracy is looking for the killer of a hit-and-run accident of a young boy. And so she's trying to find out why this young boy got killed by a car and who did it. And at the same time, another detective who she works with, he's investigating the death of his niece who died of an overdose of heroin. In the United States and in Seattle, we have a huge heroin problem, and it's a heroin problem among the young. And in our community where I live, we lost several high school students to heroin. And I thought that was, I always thought heroin was people who lived in, in warehouses and rats and terrible, and it's not. Very good people are dying from it. And I wanted to explore that more and do work on it and find out why this was happening. And it's really a tragic, kind of a tragic story. And that sort of appealed to me, and I wanted to write a book that maybe could make a difference. And so that's the next book. It's sort of a mix between the two detectives and the cases that go on, and then they come together.